All right, so just finished a pretty gnarly hard enduro ride. I've got a lot of new parts on the bike to tell you about. So this bike is basically, for me, set up strictly for hard enduro, trail ride, gnarly stuff. Kind of go a little fast in the flowy stuff, but I'll tell you what I have here. So I changed out to the black plastics just because I wanted to. So down here I've got, again, I'll recap all the stuff I already had from the previous video. I got the 1821 KKE wheels. I'm running Nitro Moose in those. I think it's Dunlop 8121 on the front. Also on the front with the KKE wheels, I've upgraded to do like a 2007 Honda 450 or 250 front rotor, and that front rotor actually fits on the back and front of this bike, which is pretty cool. So from Rocky Mountain ATV, they have the Tusk rotors for like 35 bucks. Yeah, they're super cheap, and they are thicker than the discs that come on the bike. I bent both of them actually pretty fast. These guys are real thick and are holding up much better in the rocks. All right, so another thing I did the titanium axle. I changed out to some lighter, what do you call it? Brackets, not brackets, but spacers. Geez, I'll probably forget what I call a few things here and there, so bear with me. I've got these cheap plastic fork guards to protect against the rocks. See, and then I have a tugger strap. Like I always say, the tugger strap, or this one's a giant loop. I got to have a tugger on the rear. So the giant loop, these straps are not for you, those are for your friends. Help them out when they're dragging your bike and body up a hill. So coming around to here, a couple of things I did on the front. I switched out the top triple tree. The reason I did that is because the original, that's actually the original bar position, that hole right there. And it's way back here offset from the forks. This one, this triple tree has another hole position so that you can move those up. You can move the risers up, and I also got risers with a 0.5 millimeter taller rise. And another thing I did, as you can see, is I have the forks pushed pretty far down in there, you know, not so far that the clamp doesn't clamp or anything, but I got them pretty far down in there so that it makes the front end a little longer. It gives you more stability, right? And then here I have the contour bars, Pro Taper contour bars right there, Pro Taper contour bars. And these are the factory Suzuki KTM bend. I also have the BRP clamps on the top to hold my hand guards, because they're aluminum. They're super light and really strong. I've run them on my KTM 300 for years and years. They just do a really good job of keeping the hand guards in place. Some Cycra hand guards I had hanging in my shop for a few years. They were black. I was like, oh, they match. I'll put them on. All right, so that's kind of on the front end here. I think everything. I did the KKE gold lavers because I just, gold is kind of the color I'm going with on my bike, and I like them. I did these cheap gold covers for the brake reservoirs just because they're gold. Another thing I did is I took that big heavy, I have the EBMX 9000 controller, as you can see there. So so because of that, I took all the other controller stuff off because you don't need any of it. It's all on the little controller. And then this, I had them switch. This is literally just my headlight, so it's either off or on, and the horn. So I still have those. I still have the regen button. I've got the regen button that comes with the EBMX 9000. I keep the regen off though, because it seems to not help much, and I seem to use more battery when I have the regen on in this stuff, because it's easy. It's better to just coast and, you know, not use any battery as much as you can, rather than have it drag and slow you down. Then you got to rev back up, especially if you do just a lot of up and down small stuff. I think in the mountains it would probably be good with a regen, but I don't know. From what I've read and what I've done, I did today without the regen on, and my battery lasted way longer than it's been, so it was a lot better. I keep I actually keep an iPhone right here on this called a quad lock. I keep an iPhone on here that has the EBMX app on it. So you can literally, it's like a big dashboard, really nice, so you can see everything. I took the stock dashboard out and just cut this piece of thick plastic to cover up the wires and stuff right there. Let's see. These bumpers, these are 3D printed from a dude over in England, I think, was in England. Real nice guy, super reasonable price. You can also download it if you search online, and some of the Facebook pages for the Ultra Bee, he's on there as well. And if you have a 3D printer, you can download the print and print them yourself for a few bucks. He sent these to me for like 20 bucks or something like that. So they've worked out really good, and they really, here's the one on the other side, really improve the turning radius. Look at that, because it really sucked before. I did the Thrill Seekers seat aftermarket, again the tugger strap. On the battery, my wife actually has a sticker printer machine, and she made these. It's just gold stickers that I cut to size and put in the battery just to make it look cool. I did the Dirty Bikes chain conversion. I just did that. This is my first ride with that, which it was good. I like it. I think it's kind of, it's bulletproof, that it's never going to break. And the people, my belt never breaks. I don't know. I see people online, their belts do break. So belts do break. I haven't seen anybody with a chain break yet. I guess there's not a lot of them out there, but anyway, so I converted to the chain. So it's a no-brainer for me. Never really have to think about it. The SXS skid plate is awesome. I love it. It's does everything it's supposed to. It's not too heavy, heavy enough to get the job done. And I like it that it comes all the way back underneath the foot peg brackets. So another thing I have here are the foot pegs that I've done here. I had to put that bolt in there because they really weren't made for this bike, but I really love these foot pegs. S3 hard rock foot pegs. They're freaking awesome. I run them on my 300s, and they're, man, bulletproof. Just really bulletproof foot pegs, and they slide through the rocks and everything really well because of the way that they're round, and they're super tough. These are brand new. They come from the same guy that makes this stuff, Technic Q. He made about 10 test samples for himself and, trying out, and he posted them up online, sold them. I just got them in a few days ago, and I stuck them on here, but they basically lower and back, I think 0.5 millimeters down and back for the foot peg position, which has been really nice to open up the cockpit. Like I said, the bars are up and forward, the pegs are down and back, which really kind of balances your weight on the bike better, I think. In my opinion, it's working out really well. This stuff, like I said, I changed this stuff out basically because people motocrossing and doing jumps and stuff like that have been tearing these parts up, the stock parts. So I just went ahead and changed them out because I like to jump off of stuff. I jump off of tall rock ledges and stuff like that out, when I'm riding. Not a lot of motocross, but I definitely don't, jump off some tall stuff, and I hit some jumps jumps in the woods pretty hard as well. So I changed that out just to something beefier and stronger. I've been doing a lot of titanium bolts, just a little bit here and there as I can, because I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of expensive, but they look cool, and they're much lighter than the other stuff. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything back here. Nope. All right, I did the rear disc guard. I didn't do it in gold because, as you can see, all the big gouges and scratches. I used to get colored ones, and you just scratch it all off. So I was like, well, and they all end up silver anyway, or mostly silver. So I did the silver finish, so you can see it's really scratched, but still looks nice, right? And again, the CRF 250, 450, I think I did an 07 brake disc, front and rear, thicker, nicer, titanium bolts. There's the brake, the 18-inch wheel. This one this is a great tire. I don't even want to tell you about it because I don't want people to buy them all up, but for gnarly rock stuff, man, it's the best tire I've used so far. It's the Tusk Talon 110 118. Great tire. All right, I also I changed out these aluminum frame guards because the gray ones, man, the plastic faded almost immediately, and they just really look like crap. I didn't like them, so I changed them to those. That's the only reason. I didn't like the way they looked. So coming around here, look at the backside. Suspension, I changed actually from the 450 spring to a 500-pound spring. Anything else over here that's important? Yeah, the 520 non-O-ring chain. So I have a 420 O-ring chain on the front sprocket because I don't want to have to maintain it too much, you know. I just want it to work because you don't have to change that out if you don't have to. I want it to last for a long time. But I did the 520 non-O-ring chain because the people I saw online doing tests got significantly better distance, you know, and battery life when running the non-O-ring chain back here. So I do that. Of course, you got to maintain a lot. You got to oil it every ride and all that stuff. Also I'm doing the 50 tooth sprocket. I tried the 54 and it was awesome. Tons of torque, you know, and hill climbing power. But the top speed was only 49 miles per hour. So I didn't like that. So I changed to the 50. So the 50 tooth gets me up around 57, 58 miles per hour. I'll have to check what my top speed was today. But I think it's around 58 is what I'm getting now. And I still have plenty of torque. I can still do pivot turns and pop the wheel up and all that stuff in the gnarly stuff, just with just a little more throttle. So really not much of a difference there in performance. Turned out really good. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else. That's it, man. That's the bike. It's doing great. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So hope this helps somebody out in getting your bike set up. Like and subscribe. Peace out.